Order. Question number 2, Jacqui Dean.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. Does he stand by his statement that one of the government's key priorities is to deliver better public service? And if so, what steps is the government taking to help achieve this?
Mr Speaker.
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, yes. To help achieve better public services, in 2012 the Prime Minister set 10 challenging better public services targets. Since then there are more than 40,000 fewer children living in a benefit-dependent household. The proportion of 18-year-olds who achieve NCA Level 2 has increased from 74% to 81%. Total crime has dropped by 17%, with youth crime down by almost 40%. While these are good results, there is much more to do.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question, Jacqui Dean.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. How does the government's priority of delivering better public services interact with its other priority to responsibly manage its finances?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, the government takes the view that we will be able to better manage our finances when we get better delivery of public services. That is the best way to control the government's finances, is to have government do its job properly, particularly in delivering service to those who are most in need and have the most challenging lives, in delivering those services in a way that changes those lives, because often it's the cost of government service failure that leads to future pressure on our books.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
How is the goal of better public services going to be reached when he has allowed the department that he is responsible for to deliver reports that are, quote, dopey, quote, utter tripe, and to become a political body commenting more and more on government policy? Or is the Minister of Earthquake Recovery wrong to make those claims about the Treasury?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, the Treasury is always open to constructive criticism. And I think they would probably acknowledge that Minister Brownlee has been one of its more constructive critics over the years.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Jacqui Dean.
To the Minister, what progress has the government made on the Prime Minister's 10 better public service targets for 2017?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, there's still a couple of years to go, but significant progress. Participation in early childhood education has increased from 94.7% to 96.1%. The proportion of immunised 8-month-old children has increased from 84% to 92.9%. There's been a 14% decrease in people being hospitalised for the first time with rheumatic fever, which is a very significant step forward when the known costs of rheumatic fever are around about $2 million per child. The trend in the number of children and young people experiencing substantiated physical abuse has flattened after being on an upward trajectory, but it has not yet begun to decrease, and the rate of reoffending has dropped by 9.6%.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Jacqui Dean.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. How's the work of the government's Rules Reduction Task Force supporting the delivery of better public services?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, can I compliment the member on her excellent work as part of the Rules Reduction Task Force, highlighting that there are some pretty silly rules around the place. Mr Speaker, some steps are being taken. For example, the recently announced RMA reforms will streamline the local council planning process considerably and provide less opportunity for them to make silly rules that cause high costs for no benefit.
Question number 3.